What's good? Straight up Tennessee family. It's your boy Ruck in the building today on this Monday. It's October 30th. It's one day before the spookiest day of the year, which is Halloween. And I hope everybody had a great start to your week today. Your boy did, because I'm still thinking about that Tennessee Kentucky game and how this team can build, guys. How this team can build. I think that is the story of today's episode. How can they continue to stack games? How can they continue to build? How can they continue to develop into what could still be a special year, guys? I got a stat for you tonight that will blow your mind probably. And it is just the way Tennessee fans are that get us distracted enough to where we think if we're struggling a little bit, the sky is falling. I'm here to tell you tonight that the sky is not falling, and Tennessee is still ahead of schedule when it comes to being back. When we talk about being back, we're talking about dominance. We're talking about success every single year. We're almost there, and we're going to get there. How do we get there? Trust the process. Trust the coaching staff. Trust the recruiting classes, guys, that we got coming in. I'm telling you, it's going to be a great show. It's the Who Is UCONN. Again, guys, do we really care? No. We'll talk about them a little bit, but we're still going to sit on here tonight and just kind of chop it up on what we expect, man, for the rest of this 2023 season. Like I said, it's your boy Ruck in the building, man. Let's tap in tonight. It's going to be a banger. Y'all know what it is, man. It's straight up Tennessee, baby. Welcome to the Who Is UCONN episode.
From 40, on the way, a knuckleball. He got it!
What's good, everybody? Welcome to Straight Up Tennessee today, man. It has been a great Monday on my end. I hope that you guys have had a great Monday as well. It is the top of the show, man. Like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell notification right now, guys, so you never miss an episode. Listen, man, if you're listening on Spotify or Apple Music, shout out to you, man. You are actually listening right now to the replay. This was shot on Monday nights, where you could be. If you want to be, you could come hang with us over on YouTube, only on YouTube on Monday nights. On Sundays, we do Facebook and YouTube. But if you're listening over there, man, we're glad that you're rocking with us. Continue to rate us 5 stars. Let the people know why they need to be listening to Straight Up Tennessee, baby. Before we talk about this Tennessee UConn game, did y'all see Tennessee absolutely I hate to say the word like dominate, but it was a dominating performance from the Tennessee Vols basketball team. Jordan Gainey, Dalton Connect, Josiah James. Y'all, I'm just going to tell you, this basketball team is going to be special. They have a game tomorrow night against Lenore Ryan. It's the last game of the preseason, and then they turn around on November 6th and have a home game. I think that's Tennessee Tech. When does Zakai Ziegler get back? When does, Santiago Vescovi get back from his home country dealing with a family issue? This team beat Michigan State 89-88 without Z and Santi. Bruh. It's the first year to me since 2019 with Grant and Admiral and Bone, Bowden, Alexander, Lamonte Turner. Like, it's the first time since that team that we actually have scorers on the floor. Not guys that can sometimes be streaky, but like you got guys like Dalton Connect, Jordan Gainey, who can go and get a bucket at any point. That is a special trait to have, and Rick Barnes hasn't had a lot of guys like that. But you bring two in from the transfer portal, and man, they made some noise in that exhibition game. Don't you just wish those games, the meaning of that game was a fantastic, helping the Maui Fires and everything like that. But you kind of wish that one counts a little bit, because Tennessee's number 9 in the country. They're not something to sleep on, but they beat the number 4 team in the country. At one point was up 17-1, 32-17. Like, you're beating this team by 15 at some points in this game, and you just got to look at it and say, man, Coach Barnes went to the portal and went to work. And I'm very excited to see how they continue to progress and develop throughout the rest of this basketball season. But we'll talk more basketball as football kind of winds down, but y'all know we're still full steam ahead. Tennessee and UConn this weekend. Tennessee, the line opened, I think it's still at 36. Tennessee's 36 points. ESPN's FPI matchup predictor has Tennessee winning the game 97.7% to 2.3. Talking a little bit about UConn's offense. UConn is bad, guys. They are bad. They've won one game and they beat Rice. And that final score was 38-31. Duke beat UConn 41-7. They're just not a very good football team. Quarterback's not bad. Taquan Robinson. He's a junior, small guy, man, 5'11". He's thrown 8 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. Pretty good in the backfield. A guy named Victor Rosa. He's got 78 touches on the year, 405 yards. Their number one go-to receiver is a guy named Cameron Ross. He's a junior. He wears the number 7. He got 31 catches on the year for 338 yards. I think he has 1 touchdown. I think that's what I scouted on him earlier. Seems like a guy that can really get busy in space. Reminds me a lot of, if you're looking at a Division I big guy that we've just played, reminds me a little bit of Anaya Smith from Texas A&M. He's only like 5'10", 5'11", but can really get shifty in the open field. So that's something to look out for. But guys, can I just say something? UConn sucks, guys. They suck. And this is a game that the offense and everybody in the first team, they walk out, they handle business early, and then you pave the way for young guys. You pave the way for the young guys. Hey, y'all, I got a special guest joining the show here in just a second. I got that boy. He'll be joining here in a minute. He's a special guest to the show. Y'all love him. And I'm happy to have him tonight when we chop it up. But he'll be on here in just a few minutes. He'll bring himself on. But talking more about them, you look at the defensive side of the ball for them, it's bad, y'all. Like it's really, really bad. They have a guy by the name, his name is Jackson Mitchell. He's a senior. He's been there for a while. He leads a team, I think, in tackles with 39 solos. He's got some guys. He's 42. Let me run this back for you. He leads the team in tackles with 81. He has 39 solo and 42 assists. He's got a sack on the year. He's got an interception on the year. He is by far their best player on the defensive side of the football. But when you get past him, there's a significant drop off. The next leading tackler is a defensive back, and his name is Durante Jones. He's a junior. Great size on him, by the way. He's like 6'1", like 200 pounds. Like, that's a great size corner. And he also has a couple of pass deflections. He's got a sack on the year, 51 total tackles. So you kind of, let's just say it, guys, they suck. And they're 1-7 for a reason. We're playing them on a homecoming for a reason. And I'm glad that the scout of UConn is over. There's nothing for Tennessee to worry about. Tennessee should go out, handle business, and pave the way for the young guys. who everybody wants to see, specifically Nico Iamaleava. People want to see him. People want to see Cameron Seldon. Does Cameron Seldon get a go Saturday? It all depends on how Tennessee starts the game. So I'm going to go ahead and hop over here into the chat, man, see what's going on tonight. What's up, Lil Clout? What even is a Husky? You know, sometimes I don't have a way to answer that question. He came on and then left. Bye, Turner. But anyways, sometimes I don't know how to answer your questions when you say what is a whatever. But you know, a Husky is a dog. That one's easy. Clout says blue tick hound versus Husky. Who you got? Honestly, I might take a Husky. I don't think a blue tick can be upset. Lil Clout also says this team will win titles in the next few years to come. And I said titles with an S. I hope you're right. What's up, my brother?
What up? What up? What up?
Yes, sir. The boy Turn is in the building. Good people. Make the background for him and everything. So,
ooh,
going back up in here, though, also, that's a bold statement, Lil Clout, but I'm not saying no. I think we have to start small, right? I don't think we can go for the big thing, meaning the NCAA tournament or the NCAA the natty. Like, I don't feel like let's start as being
SEC.
in SEC East. Oh, well, got the divisions are decentralizing. So
yeah, thanks.
Going to be divisions. Like, you got to win the SEC at this point.
Yeah, you do.
And then if you do that, man, what can be in the future? Aaron Duck says, run a dress rehearsal for the first half and then let Nico get some run. I talked to a guy today. Shout out to you. And actually, I'm going to say your name. I'm going to shout out to the boy Cole Campbell. Shout out to you, my dude. New listener of the channel, really has, we've been cool for a little minute, but started listening to the podcast, loves it. I want to read this, man. I want to read this from what he said today. He hit me with a message and said, man, I'm really enjoying your podcast. You hit the nail on the head. Our staff is coaching to the ability of our current players. It starts with the O-line and the quarterback. The reality is most of our big plays that lead us to the red zone are flash plays in the passing game. Once we hit the 20, we don't know how to manage and we freak out a little bit. It's a false start or Joe might zone out and it hurts us. I would love to see more run packages and maybe some misdirections. We also seem to forget that we have tight ends in the red zone. Why not attack the middle of the field? Joe isn't a true game manager, and at times it hurts us when it comes down to critical plays. Maybe he just needs to let him go and play backyard football, truck more linebackers. I'm just a fan of stick with what we got at this point, and that is the run. They can guard the run. If they can guard the run, they can guard the run, but we also have depth to just wear people down for 4 quarters. I want Joe to be the best we have ever seen, but unfortunately, I think he's a Band-Aid this year. And I can't 100% disagree with it. But the biggest thing that I told him is what Aaron is saying here about Nico. I responded to him and I said, the biggest worry of mine, and we're going to sit here for a second because I think we can, this has legs right here. I'm worried that the hype built around a kid that has never started a collegiate football game is just a little too much right now.
I think of it a lot like the I was listening to JD Piquel today actually, and he was like I think like so much hype was built around Joe Milton this year in the offseason. Like you got these videos surfacing, him throwing the ball 90 yards, like hitting goalposts, backflipping, doing all this crazy stuff. And it just got so overhyped that when he came out, it was like, what is this? And I think I think we're doing the same thing with Nico. Like sure, we've seen him play a couple plays down there, but he ain't never got to start in college football. I mean, it's going to take time to get settled in.
Unless, guys, like, unless he is the the prodigy, right? And I think that's what we hope, because it's the biggest quarterback recruit we've had in some time, and so it's something to definitely be excited about. But I have to always lean towards the side of caution, because I myself don't want to be upset.
Mhm.
Like, I don't want him to come in and then our first 3 games next year, like, everybody's like, well, what are we gonna say, bench Nico now? You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
it, I'm worried for him, because there's so much he has to live up to, so much that he hasn't even done himself. Like, people have put this on him, and
He's
so
got he's got a lot to live up to, that's for sure.
he does. Lil Clout says this: I think Joe understands now that he has to use his legs more in order to be elite versus these big games coming up. 100%. But I think now he is becoming like a primary factor in the run game. 10 touches? Like, bro, that's more carries than Jabari Small had
And
Saturday.
I don't necessarily think it's as much, and this might be an unpopular opinion here. I don't think it's as much Joe Milton as it is Josh Heupel. Because
Like,
Josh Heupel,
forcing him to run.
yeah, Josh Heupel called, like, we've never seen run plays really hardly ever. I think Josh Heupel knows and he's realized, okay, for to open up our offense the way I want it to perform, I've got to get Joe going in the run game.
I think it's the same with Hendo.
Yeah, when it comes to design runs, I think that's Josh Heupel. But now seeing him make plays out of the pocket, I mean, that's something we ain't seen the first 6 games, just being
Oh, yeah.
honest.
But it's coming now. Shout out to the boy Adrian. He has been a member of the channel for 3 months now. Faithful boy. That's my dog, man. Appreciate you, Adrian, for all the love and the support. UConn are cons.
I think they got beat by Boston College last week.
They did. Alpha Man, shout out to you, man. He says, bro, this channel is awesome. Hey, bro, we appreciate you, man, for that love and that support. We do it because we love it, and we're gonna keep throwing content your way. Keep tapping in, everybody, for sure. Lil Clout says, I want to see D get some runs on offense. Lil Clout, I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna say this in the nicest way possible. He couldn't play corner, and that's what he was recruited to do. I'm just not sure we'll see that unless he comes back.
I think they might have figured it out Saturday, the rotation at receiver.
I do too.
Squirrel ain't going to come out of the game unless absolutely needed. Ramel ain't going to come out of the game unless absolutely needed. And I think you're going to go back and forth between, I think you're going to see a lot of Dante Thornton on the outside, Chaz Nimrod, Caleb Webb get in there a little bit, but I think it's those 3 guys.
It is. And you saw too, and like, you saw Squirrel get a breather and Dante move inside and Chaz was on the outside. Like, you got to like the flexibility, right? You got to like that about Dante Thornton, what he can give you. And he had his best game in Orange Saturday, and he should have a lot more on the way. Lil Clout says Nico is a dog. We don't know that. I'm sorry. We don't know that yet.
High
Says
school,
dual
yes.
threat quarterback. Huh?
I said high school, yes.
Yeah. I'm just leaning on that side of, like, we just don't know yet, man. Like, and I'm doing it more for me. If people disagree with me, I'm okay with that. I really am, because I have to do that for me and say, bro, we really don't know yet, bro. Like, we really don't, but I hope so. Maybe you can see him play a little bit. Because here's the other thing, guys. Can I say this too? Nico playing snaps against UConn is really not that helpful.
Yeah, it's not.
Like, cool, he's playing, but like, he's playing against the same competition he had at Warren in high school, right? When it comes to UConn, right? And if he's playing behind that second string offensive line, like, he really don't have much to work with. So you got to take that into account if he does struggle Saturday. Like, take that into account just a little bit. But I'm looking for him to ball out. I'm excited because I really, bro, like, he is the future. He is the future. Like, everybody knows in 2024 who the starting quarterback is right now. Like, we know who that is. And that's a good feeling. But even the orange and white game in 24, don't get hype if he throws for 400. Like it's the orange and white game. Gaston Moore looked like a world beater in the orange and white game. And everybody's like, why ain't Gaston Moore playing? Y'all, there's a reason why Gaston Moore is not playing football right now at Tennessee and why Nico is the number 2. Okay. There's a reason. Shout out to the boy Aaron. He says that's why he needs to run some in mop-up duty. I agree. I hope he plays. And again, the experience does help him. But who the experience is against, prime example. Let's just hypothetically say Joe Milton goes down the Missouri game or the Georgia game. Let's say Joe Milton gets hurt and we throw Nico in there. Let's say we get blew out. How many people are going to say, oh, it's because Joe got hurt? No. We've been calling on Nico all year. So if he goes in there and don't finish the game and don't win, we got to look at ourselves in the mirror and you got to say, he wasn't ready. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I hope that doesn't happen. I hope that if Joe Milton does get down or gets injured or whatever it is, I want the kid to come in and show us why he's worth $8 million, right? Like I want him to come in and go to work. But it's just hard for me to say like, yeah, he's going to. Now, there's some guys like Johnny Manziel, but Johnny Manziel was a redshirt freshman. So he had a year, but then he had his freshman year when he went crazy.
He had a year under, yeah.
I don't know, man. I want Nico to do his thing on Saturday, but I just don't know. Turn, let me talk to you about this, Brody. What do you think about the SEC waiting till next Saturday night to release the game time for that Tennessee-Missouri game?
Because I think they're going to see what happens Saturday.
They're waiting to see if Missouri beats Georgia or if it's close. You know what I'm saying? Because then it will get the CBS 3:30 game.
And it could very well, honestly, bro. Like, honestly, at that time, I mean, if it's a close game, I mean, Missouri's 14 right now. I mean, you lose to Georgia and it's close. I mean, you can't drop much. I mean, 15 maybe. And at that time, we won't move probably unless somebody in the below us loses. Yeah. Like to a no name or something like that. So we'd be 17 versus 15 or 16. I mean, that's a big deal.
I think you can wipe away the 7:30 SEC network game. I think this is a prime time or it's 3:30. You know,
I think it's 3:30 or ESPN 7:00.
Yeah.
Who else plays the same week as us in the SEC?
When's
LSU Bama?
That's this weekend.
Yeah.
LSU's at Alabama this weekend, which is something to watch. I think LSU's offense is so good, and Alabama's defense is all right. And it's been good. Let me say that. It's been good. But Alabama's offense is very up and down, and LSU's defense is really bad. So
it's all on what's his face. It's all on Jalen Milroe if Alabama wins that game because LSU's defense is trash.
And Jaden Daniels gonna get his.
Yeah, he's gonna get his by far.
He's got his all year, bro. All year long. Adrian says if Missouri beats Georgia, College game day will be at. Oh, I 100% agree with that. I think so.
I don't know. Don't Georgia and Ole Miss play the same? No, they play the week before. Well, they play the same week as us in Missouri.
Yeah.
That's the only other one I could see.
And I'm not looking at anything else right now. Like I don't know who else is playing in the country because I just don't care.
Mm-hmm. That's what I'm.
But man, that could be a game day game. But I mean,
it'll definitely.
I don't know.
Be
I think.
Nation.
Yeah, SEC Nation is more likely. I just don't think game day. Nobody like the thing is people don't care about Tennessee. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I do think if we win UConn, we win at Missouri on the road.
That Georgia game
probably gonna be game day.
100%.
just with the story. If it was at Georgia this year, I don't think it would. But since it's at Neyland, yeah.
Yep, for sure. Because let me tell you this, bro, and everybody watching, everybody listening. Why do we, as Tennessee fans, get so caught up in what's actually like? We get caught up in the number of losing or the number of how we lost, or we look at the game and we're like, we just suck, and Joe Milton this and yada yada yada. But can I tell y'all something? This program has turned around way too fast. And
Yeah, there was
last year gave everybody too much ammunition to just expect 11, 10 wins every year. I saw something that said Tennessee started this year, we're 6-2. That is Tennessee's best start. Other than last year, this is Tennessee's best start, the second best start, bro, since 2006.
Yeah, I mean,
how can we complain?
You can't, man. There was no in between. Like with Josh Heupel, it was like here and here. There was nothing right here.
Exactly.
It went to the ceiling. And we're really not, I mean, you think about it. I mean, this year we got 2 losses, yeah, sure. But I mean, if you really think about it, going into this year, I mean, we know the Bama game was a mix-up. The Florida game hurts. I mean, don't get me wrong. I thought we still should have beat Florida, but it's just like us in Kentucky, man. It's so hard to win down in the swamp. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, it is. We have struggled down there.
By the way, if we do win against Missouri, there is a I'm gonna say 100% chance we get game day. The next best game is Washington and Oregon State at 5 and 16. I mean, I would think they
game day, bro.
Yeah, in Knoxville, I'll be at the tailgate at 6:30 for the garage even opens.
The rays from the sun awakes me, stretching and yawning in a bed that don't belong to me. YouTube, do not flag me for singing "Trapped in the Closet." I appreciate it. Oh, Lil Clout, what's goody, bro? He says Heupel is exactly what this team needed. He's exactly what we never knew we needed, right? When Josh Heupel got hired, I don't think everybody was like losing their mind.
I wouldn't.
I think we all knew he could score the football. Yeah, that was proven. But I don't think we knew how good of a coach he truly was and how good he would turn a program around and how many great things he's already done in Knoxville. Being one of them, man, is his press conference earlier today. He mentions that, you know, he wanted to pay homage to the Alzheimer's Foundation. And this weekend, once again, Tennessee will honor the legendary Pat Summitt with the uniform combo. So is that going to be just adding in the blue accessories, the Summitt blue? Or does Tennessee have something up their sleeve coming? I don't know. But pretty cool that we honor Pat and that whole the whole community that deal with Alzheimer's, and we honor them in that way by really just showing our love and appreciation for the late great Pat Summitt. So,
well, and I really don't think anybody realized how good of a coach Josh Heupel was, like until like recently and like last year, because I mean, we know you can score the football, and I mean, no offense to like, you know, UCF or whatever, but like, I mean, it's a massive change in competition. You know what I mean? And this year's really showing me how good of a coach he is, because he's having to find different ways to score than just stretching the field. Like, you know what I mean? Like scheming guys open and just throwing deep balls and scoring 60 points and not having to worry about anything else. He's actually having to coach. I'm not saying he didn't coach in the past, but he's actually having to coach and be like, okay, I got to find a way to win these games.
Yeah. And he's doing it.
Yeah. Facts.
That's the thing that we got to be happy about that. Like, Josh Heupel never in his career, guys, won a game where he scored less than 30. And he did that this year against Texas A&M.
I mean, what we score? 33.
20.
No, I'm talking about like Kentucky. We
Yeah,
about did.
33.
I mean, we're right at it. We're right over it.
And let me tell y'all something else. I was looking something up today, and this number blew my mind too. As good as Tennessee's offense was last year, and how it took a step back, we've definitely taken a step back this year. We're still 4th in the SEC in total offense.
Yeah, dude. I mean, I think the big thing that I heard the VolQuest guys talking about it this year. I think penalties are killing us this year, but like they were like, listen, penalties killed us last year too. We were one of the worst in the country last year at penalties. But last year, 2nd and 12, I mean, no big deal.
Nope.
Whatever. This year we can't play behind the sticks. You get
No.
behind the sticks, it's game over.
And we tend to kill drives that way a lot, and we have already. So it's really what can this team do, guys? As we kind of wrap up tonight's show, I can't put my finger on what this team has to do to continue to stack games. Like there's something there that we need to do, and I just can't put my finger on it. You know, against Kentucky, the defensive backs look bad, right? But you got to also credit that to how we were not really getting any pressure, right? Like if you watch it, man, like we really didn't get to Leary a lot. Whether we were being held or whatever we want to say, definitely was being held, but you got to credit that. It really is complimentary on the defensive side of the ball. If the defensive line is eating, the DBs tend to look better.
Mm-hmm.
And we gave Leary a lot of time, and he cooked. And you got to give him his credit. But there's something in, like, I was thinking about it today, and I still just can't put my finger on it. I'm interested to see what the chat thinks, man. Like, what do you guys think Tennessee must do to continue to stack these games? I think Joe Milton's performances the last 2 weeks, bro, they're good enough to win you some games. I told you this earlier this morning on the phone, though. I don't think he's played good enough yet to beat Georgia. However, you can tell me that you go to Alabama, you play well. You go to Kentucky, you play well. You come back home to Neyland Stadium against UConn, handle your business and play well when you're in the game. And then you go on the road again and get another W playing well at Missouri. Joe, that's a month of straight ball, and you are balling in 4 weeks. Can your breakout game be against Georgia? Can it be the 300-plus game? He hasn't thrown for 300 yet this year. Can that be the game? And that, it's easy to say Joe Milton, but there's something else out there, man, that Tennessee got to do, and I just still can't put my finger on it.
Well, the thing about it with me was like Joe Milton, I think, and like you said, I'm anxious to see, because the past 3 games, really, it's been right here, and right here. And does that just keep calm? Does that keep stacking? Because, like, I was listening to the VolQuest guys talking about it, and I was like, man, that makes so much sense, because he plays so much better after that happens. Like, you know how most people, like Hendon Hooker, to get him in the flow, you got to give him some quick passes. Bow, 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 and he's feeling himself. They were like,
got to run him.
He needs contact.
Got to run him.
He gets contact. He's like, okay, I'm in. I'm locked in, which is crazy.
Yep.
He just needs a little contact.
I felt like Hendon was like that too at times. Like that Florida game early, he was kind of just like, and then he made that one big run and got blasted.
Mm-hmm.
Blessed. The rest of the game, he was locked. I'm
gonna tell you one thing, and I hope we do it I hope we save it for Georgia. I promise you, I can promise you this, and you'll agree with me 100%. If on a, I don't care what down it is. I really don't care. I was going to say third, but I don't care what down it is. If D Samp is in the backfield, or anybody, I promise you, if we would throw a screen pass, it would crib. It's
Let him
cribbed.
go to the crib, bro.
It's cribbed. I promise you. We don't run screens to the running back, but my gosh, if we would, crib.
It must be Dylan Sampson.
I'm gonna go ahead and call it. If we run a screen this year, a halfback screen, it's cribbed.
It's cribbed. We ran it once in 21 to Tyon Evans against Florida.
Yeah.
And he went to the crib.
Yes, I'm telling you, bro. It's cribbed. We don't run it. I would love to see a jailbreak screen.
Man.
Let them suckers go and just Joe Milton dump it off.
Just dump it and let's go see what happens.
God.
In Neyland, bro, I lose my mind. I come to the front row and look over the rail and just look at you like this.
Yeah. And I'm gonna be yelling, I told you. I freaking told you.
Crib. Y'all, like I said, though, man, we will not have a midweek chat this week, man. We're going to take a little break, relax. It's UConn, bro. Nobody, let's be honest. We put a video out Wednesday. Half of y'all ain't going to listen. So, it's UConn week. It's homecoming. Let's go win. Let's handle our business. We will have a one more day this week. Early score predictions. I don't have one. Go win. The line's 36. That's a lot of points. And Tennessee we haven't scored 50 once this year. I don't know. I don't have an early score prediction. I'll give you something Friday, though, for sure.
I don't have one either.
If y'all have one, drop them in there, man. Drop them in here right now, everybody listening. If you got an early, a Monday score prediction, drop it in, man. We'll throw it up on the screen as we kind of wrap up the Who Is UConn show. Lastly, bro, for me, before we wrap it up fully, we know the strength of the team is that running back room. Looking ahead to 24, let's say Jalen Wright goes to the NFL. Let's say Jabari stays. Is Dylan Sampson RB1?
I think it's a very interesting offseason. For sure.
What happens? What happens there? Is Dylan Sampson RB1? Is Jabari kind of still in the role he's in where he's going to get 9 to 12 carries a game. He's going to get 30, 40 yards. He's still going to be one of the best running backs in Tennessee history when it's all said and done, when it comes to the numbers.
Yeah, I mean, if he comes back next year, he will break whatever is God, why can't I think of his name?
Travis Henry.
Travis Henry's record of all-time yards. I think Barry's coming back. I think Jay Wright is gone. I think he is. I think he's proven that, and I think he should. But if he comes back, I'm not going to be mad.
No.
By all means, we'll take it. For sure. Have the same running back room this year as we did last year. I don't know. It all depends who comes up. It all depends who comes back on the O-line.
Yeah,
too.
That's true too. That's true too. Well, guys, man, we'll be back on Friday for the one more day episode of UConn Week. Y'all stay locked in to the Instagram, man. This week we'll still be posting some things. Tennessee basketball has a game tomorrow night against Lenore-Ryan. Tap into that. Y'all know what to do, man. Like, comment, subscribe. Hit that bell notification so you never miss a video. Shout out to you, Apple and Spotify listeners. We salute you. We appreciate the love and the support. For my guy, Turner, it's your boy Ruck in the building, man. Y'all know what it is. It's straight up Tennessee, baby. We'll see you on Friday for the one more day UConn edition. We outie.